There was a rule in the general's mansion. On the first day a new bride entered the house, she had to kneel in the ancestral hall all night holding a rooster. It was said that this could suppress the malevolent energy in the mansion, so that the general on the frontier could return victoriously soon. I endured the pain and knelt all night. Unexpectedly the general actually returned the next day, and brought back a woman and a man. Really? Come back if you want to come back. Why bring people along? Bring people if you want to bring people. Why did you even bring my old flame back? He looked up at the sky, a little embarrassed. I looked down at the ground, also a little embarrassed. This one is the general's wife. A soft voice sounded. It was a gentleness not belonging to the frontier. I was stunned. I turned to look. A woman stood prettily behind me, beautiful and graceful, tall and elegant. The general held her arm. The two were intimate. Seeing me look over, he paused slightly, stepped back half a step. Naturally, my daze was not because of these two people, but because there was still someone beside them. I knew this person, and was quite familiar with him. The story is quite simple. That year I had just escaped from that den of wolves, and wandered for more than 10 days. Unexpectedly I reconnected with my old employer. I wanted to truly leave the capital, and find a place to settle down elsewhere. But I had nothing. The only thing of some use perhaps, was the ink and a few taels of silver for writing on behalf of the young lady. The old employer also had troubles. She had no one under her. I mustered up my courage and recommended myself. I am Shi Ji, formerly the head maid of the Duke's mansion, moderately versed in poetry and books, skilled in calculation, a reserve stewardess, fell into the water while protecting my mistress. The river was swift. Unfortunately we were separated. The Duke's mansion had strict rules. For a maid like me who had been missing for months, returning would likely be a dead end. Please give me a job. I omitted my calculations. My heart had indeed become wild. I just wanted to repay the favor. For some reason, the old employer agreed to my request, but this job was unexpected. It was to investigate the Imperial Examination corruption case. Me, although extremely confused, I still accepted the job. The rest is very simple. I entered the Imperial College through a bit of connections. I felt he looked down on me. I also didn't find him very pleasing to the eye. He also colluded with other students to set a trap for me. Have you ever cried for a flower? I have, he complained. I was punished with copying. Copying until midnight. The more I thought about it the angrier I became. The more I thought about it the more wronged I felt. Then I set a trap for him. He counterattacked. I continued to secretly mess with him. Back and forth. Of course we reconciled in the end. Although it was a bit unpleasant at first. But it's also a case of not fighting, not knowing each other. That period of time was truly joyful. If I didn't have things to attend to, my employer and I were both at a disadvantage. To accomplish this matter, we still need to borrow strength. This is also one of the reasons my employer arranged for me to enter the Imperial Academy. May I ask, my former classmate was unjustly imprisoned. He can never achieve fame in this life. How can you all stand by and watch? Imprisoned today, it's me alone. Then in the future, will it be all of you present? When the lips are gone the teeth will be cold. At this time, only a little spark is needed. It's enough to ignite these young scholars. I have to die. I didn't expect Shen Chonglin to visit me at that time. In the prison cell, he had a cold face, handed me warm quilts and filling dry rations. He said, "You are still too impatient." The jade scholar of the Shen family, even in simple clothes in this prison, he is still handsome. I lowered my head, smiled casually. Don't worry, I have my limits. I won't implicate you. Don't get involved with me at this time. I am not innocent. It will tarnish your reputation. You and I are not of the same path. We just happen to be classmates for 2 years. It's better to go our separate ways from here. It will save us from disliking each other in the future. Let this dream end here, having known each other for 2 years. I understand him very well. He should also know that I am saying this to alienate him. As expected, his expression changed. Later we had a big argument. I used all sorts of sarcastic words. I brought out the letter of severance that I had pondered for days. He was so angry that his face turned red. He left in a huff. After he left, I inexplicably felt a bit melancholic. We are truly from different paths now. I calmly drank the secret medicine sent by my employer. Fake my death to escape. There is still something to fight for. What happened afterwards is not something a nobody like me can participate in. The day I was dug out, my old employer came to see me off. She lifted the curtain of the carriage. Intending to keep me, she told me her future plans. Kill her husband, raise her young son, rule the court. There seemed to be light in her eyes. At that moment, I suddenly understood why my old employer used me. She is as unwilling as I am. We are both unwilling to have our lives controlled by others. I refused. I asked for what I wanted at first. A new identity and a pass. Continue to fight like this? That would be too tiring. And when I go to court, I'll be facing classmates and teachers. How can I explain this face of mine? Thinking back now, I really want to go back and slap myself a few times. To sober myself up, telling you to be proud. You just gave up a great opportunity to rise straight to the top. If you don't want to be tired of fighting, you have to suffer the hardships of life. In that case it's better to continue working for my old boss. Good, there are still power and status. That could be a meritorious service to the emperor. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's not changing fate, it's reincarnation. It's better than suffering for 5 years. And then being discarded like a worn-out tool. Now it's good, isn't it? Chewed wild vegetables for 5 years. And now I am being forced by power again. I've been honest. Please love me again, my employer. The past fades away. The present is near. The general's eyes darted around, looking at the sky, the ground, the scenery. just not at me. He's clearly guilty. Cough cough. Gee, this is Miss Yun. Because I am escorting military supplies here, I have to protect her, don't I? I look at the walls, the ground, the crowd, but not at them. To be honest, I am a little embarrassed now. Mainly afraid that if I look at that person a few more times, he'll notice something. After all, we had a very unpleasant falling out back then. I can't imagine what would happen if he found out I faked my death to escape. He probably won't know. This is my wife. The general's gaze lingered on the chip bowl in my hand, and on my dust-covered clothes. Then he looked away. Yo Tilda, call me when you need help. Gee, when you think I am not presentable, you just say 2 words. I'll just give a perfunctory reply. General, take Miss Yun to tour the city. Then he ordered the group of onlookers to get back to work. What am I afraid of? He would never guess who I am. Guilty conscience. I can't show any weakness. What are you doing? I was startled. Why haven't you left yet? Shen Chonglin is still the same as before. As if sensing my fright. It was my presumption. It's fine. I waved my hand casually. We're repairing the city walls. With fights happening every few days, the city walls can't be damaged. Shen Chonglin is a local official sent down. It seems he's really just investigating the people's conditions. So I didn't pay much attention. Then I joined in repairing the city walls. Not to mention, to be honest, after years of carrying mud, I've become much stronger. Now if I have to fight Shen Chonglin again, I am sure I can win. With his scholarly pursuits, after the imperial examinations he will surely enter the Hanlin Academy. He's been writing for so many years. His stamina must not be what it used to be. I am sure he'll beat him. Thinking about it this way, my mood instantly improved. Even the fatigue of returning home felt insignificant. My lord, this general's wife is indeed from the capital. She came to the border 5 years ago. And this general's wife is named Shi Busho. He seems to have not thought of this name for a long time. The last time was a letter he read a month ago. On it 2 characters were written. Buu. As he glanced at it, those 2 characters, calculating the time, it matches that incident from years ago. The name also seems relatively. Shen Chonglin pondered, looking at the person in the distance who was about to jump up. Could she be his sister? The difference in personality is too great. I am unhappy again, dragging my tired body home, and still having to face a nagging man. Who could be happy about that? I want to marry Miss Yun as my equal wife. The general cautiously looked at me. My good mood vanished instantly. This war is about to end. We will definitely be returning to the capital then. Someone will have to socialize with those noble ladies. Gee, you come from a humble background. How would you understand those intricacies? A Yun is skilled in these matters. It will save you the trouble. My eyebrows tightened. Does he think of me this way? Humble background. Crude and unbearable. I couldn't help but think deeply. If it's really as he says, and I hand over all the affairs, and all future social interactions are given to others, will I still be the general's wife? At that time, the knife is in their hand. I am the fish, at their mercy, living only by begging for others' pity. What can I rely on? His affection, or Miss Yun's kindness? I am unwilling to gamble. The me who was inexperienced back then was unwilling to gamble. The me now is even more unwilling. I looked at him carefully. His expression became increasingly impatient. He kept enumerating my faults over the years, as if to belittle me into the mud. Then what about my hard work over the years? Does he not want to remember? I gradually felt disheartened. See how well you've done. I said okay. The general was overjoyed. His demeanor changed instantly. He said gently, I knew Aji was the most understanding. You and I, let's divorce. He frowned again. Aji, don't throw a tantrum. Even if I marry Ah Yun, you are still the first wife. Besides, I haven't taken a concubine all these years. Aren't you satisfied yet? I don't even want to talk about him. Is it because he doesn't want to take a concubine? It's because he has no money. What kind of equal wife is there in a respectable family? Might as well you and I divorce. I'll make way for that, Miss Yun. You should know when to stop throwing tantrums. If we divorce, where will you go? The general's face turned cold. Think about it carefully. After speaking, he flicked his sleeves and left. Think about it carefully. I mimicked him sarcastically. When I become successful, it'll be this imposing too. I counted the money in the household accounts overnight. After a brief calculation, I felt even sadder. When we went to the government office to register our household, we were both penniless. I only had 2 sets of clothes to change and a few taels of silver. He had nothing. If we were to divorce, according to the law, I could only take a few taels of silver. If the general were to be more heartless, it would be self-requested dismissal. Then I would leave with nothing. I stayed up all night and made a fake account. I don't want much, just half of the money in the account. These are all savings I made bit by bit. The next day when I went out, the old man guarding the gate of the mansion stopped me. The general did not return all night. I comforted the old man with a few packets of snacks, telling him to relax. At the same time, I removed the filter for the person I had been with for several years, lowering my impression of him. Can this person just die? It would save me from self-requested dismissal, and I wouldn't end up with a bad reputation. After thinking all night, I still think self-requested dismissal is a better option. After all, he is now an official, and officials protect each other. As a weak woman, how can I fight them? Woo tilde, I am so pitiful. This concubine is 25 years old this year, and has been married to the general for 5 years without any children. Today I request to be dismissed. The general has now achieved fame. This concubine has not improved as before. Tossing and turning, uneasy day and night, only fearing. Shen Chonglin raised his eyes. A moment of trance. The unrestrained and flamboyant youth seemed to have regained his initial indifference. raising all his defenses against him. Only the corners of his eyes were slightly red. That time ended unhappily. After that he wrote a letter, saying how deep their friendship was, and how different their future paths were. He wrote a letter, severing their ties. He was also young and proud at that time, unable to swallow his pride to reconcile. Left in anger. Later, he never saw him again, nor did he see him for the last time. May it be that from now on, the sky is high and the earth is far, never to meet again, but I wish that from now on, a separation of two widths, each happy. Looking at the person below the hall, he seemed to see that person again. He saw himself as very insignificant, but also extremely arrogant. Two such contradictory states of mind, but they seemed to justify themselves. Not unworthy, but incompatible, and unwilling to wrong himself. Even less willing for the past affection to end only in disgust. Leaving a little room for himself in the other person. Let the beauty always stay at the most beautiful time. Naive and cruel. Shen Chonglin's gaze made me shiver. What I said is quite reasonable. There should be no problem with this letter of petition. Shen Chonglin had an unspeakable feeling in his heart. It can be basically confirmed that this general's wife is a family member of a friend. This personality is really, exactly the same. While Shen Chonglin felt troubled, he even felt a bit of unexpected familiarity and nostalgia. Let's interfere in someone else's family affairs for once. He also wanted to see similar circumstances. Will there be any difference? If this madam has any injustice, he can also help. Consider it taking care of a deceased friend's relatives. Shen Chonglin put down the document in his hand first. This matter needs to be discussed with the general. Are there any elders or relatives in the mansion? You kid, I knew you were a good kid. My eyes lit up. This was my oversight. I only remembered when I arrived. Whether it's divorcing a wife, divorce or voluntarily leaving the house, requires the Mon's consent. But since I am here, let's give it a try. Maybe it will work. At worst I can find the general. Good kid, I knew I didn't misjudge you. The general is here. The general came in a rage, and brought Miss Yun with him. You are truly beyond redemption. Forgive the general. He didn't read much since he was young. The few elegant words I taught him on a whim a couple of years ago. I guess he wants to say, unreasonable. I already said, you will still be my wife. Why do you have to make a big deal out of it? Intentionally embarrassing me, aren't you? Jealous woman. The general cursed angrily a few times. The Miss Yun beside him looked incredulous. Incredulity mixed with a bit of secret joy. I rolled my eyes, and said faintly, I am indeed jealous. So I asked to leave the house. You are so annoyed. Agreed then. The general was momentarily speechless. 100 days of marital bliss. There's still some affection between us. Then give me more money. I rolled my eyes again. In the end, it's wanting both. Greedy and insatiable. Wanting the more compatible Miss Yun, yet unwilling to let go of our years of friendship. Thinking of following the ways of the world. 3 wives and 4 concubines. To fulfill one's wish. Then you ask me to be magnanimous. What I've always wanted is not the love he gives or the so-called position of the main wife. Want love. A down on his luck scholar, a poor scholar. Who is not better than you? Lend money. Devoted love. So many failed scholars. I don't believe not one of them fell for it. They acted deeply in love with you, and even wrote you a couple of doggerel poems. Want the position of the main wife. Merchants, peddlers, artisans. It's not impossible to marry them. Which of these people can take a concubine? It's better than going to the frontier. With your head hanging from your belt, it's a hard life. The general wanted to speak again. Miss Yun held him back, and whispered a few words in his ear. The general still looked angry, but he agreed, and allowed me to divorce. I excitedly asked Shen Chonglin for paper and brush, to write another divorce letter. I also received half of the money from the fake accounts. Miss Yun advised divorce. Miss Yun is good. Stupid Shen, lend me paper. Lord Shen is good. The general divorces. The general is not good. May you be reborn soon. My writing is inspired. My brushwork is swift. In a moment, the 2 divorce letters were written. The general angrily took the divorce letter. I'd like to see where you'll go without me, to resolve a troublesome matter. I don't mind giving him a smile. Don't trouble yourself, general. As soon as I stepped out of the official's threshold, I was called back by Shen Chonglin's attendant, and brought back to Shen Chonglin. Because of the general's great prestige, it was already time for lunch. The official office is on lunch break. Is there anything else? Impossible, right? I find your wife very familiar. Her name is Shi Busho. I secretly tightened my hand. How could it be? May I ask if madam is the sister of my old friend? The heart that was raised was put down again, a false alarm, and it also helped me cover up my identity. Home. My brother's name is indeed this. I lowered my head and looked at the ground. Shen Chonglin gripped the penholder in his hand. His relatives. Are you no longer willing to mention him? He who should have been her sky to hold up, became the source of a life of wandering. How could his relatives not resent him? Betrayed by all. Shen Chonglin felt a knot of frustration in his chest. Stuck. Unhappy. He never did those things. The case has been retried. Now, the old man is gone. It seems he can only clear his name one last time. I know, my elder brother would never do these things. A storm in my mind. The lie I told back then was that I had a sister at home, right? A sister, right? Stubborn. Think quickly. Think quickly. If only I had known. Back then I said I had 8 older sisters. And 7 younger sisters. Never mind. Just say we're twins. No order of precedence. Call me sister if you need anything. Call me sister if you don't. After I die, I'll open my mouth. Be the older brother. Just say it like that. Shen Chonglin opened his mouth, then felt it was inappropriate, changed his tune and said, Miss Shi, from now on, I am hesitant, since the identity of general's wife is gone. I can no longer interfere in the affairs here. And with you young Master Shen here, I can rest assured. Why not find a pleasant place? With some money to support myself. Where can't I go? If you want to leave you still need a travel permit. So troublesome. I give up, said sadly. I don't know where to go. My parents died early. I depended on my elder brother for survival. I'll just follow him. My elder brother has been dead for many years. I haven't even visited him once. I'd like to go back and be with my elder brother. But, quickly, Lord Shen, quickly give me the travel permit. Let me go back to mourn my elder brother. I secretly glanced at Shen Chonglin from the corner of my eye. Secretly looking forward, Shen Chonglin looked dejected. If Miss Shi hasn't decided yet, why not stay and help out at the Yamen for now? The Yamen is short-handed right now. I see Miss Shi is literate. Could you stay and be a female official for now? Didn't I say? I want to go and mourn my elder brother. You good for nothing Shen. You only listen to half of what people say. Please allow this humble woman to think again. I don't care about my reputation. Although being spoken ill of won't cost me 2 ounces of flesh. But when I hear it, my heart feels pained. Wait, the silly Shen just, it seems to have reached. With a sound, it felt like something exploded in my mind. Remote border. Information is blocked. I haven't heard from the capital in years. But these 2 words instantly brought back memories of my years in the capital. Which young man has Shi Niangza taken a fancy to? To the point of taking down the general. It's the lady bringing food, teasing me. I still need to finish the matter of the city wall first. Came here again, so everyone knows. So fast? I was stunned, a little embarrassed. After all, it's not something glorious. Still a discarded wife disliked by the general. A soldier helping on the scene laughed. I frowned. I just hate this kind of gossip. If you don't clarify, others will say you admit it. You feel bad inside. If you clarify, others will say you're making a fuss. You still feel bad inside. I hate people who spread rumors the most. I don't count myself and those with me. Just right. Silly Shen wants to rectify the army's style. It's best to ensure your record is as clean as your wallet. I secretly noted which region this soldier was from. At that time, I'll dig up everything about you. Search 3 feet underground. Just as I thought, the lady bringing food had already started scolding. It should be more appropriate to use argumentation. With marital separation as the center. Reality and right and wrong as the radius. In all directions. Discussed without blind spots whether verbal abuse should be inflicted on a wife after marital separation. And elevated the theme. Marital separation is a consensus reached by both parties' wishes. Don't be too harsh on divorced women. Cleverly quoted. People are not saints. How can they be without fault? Stated that both men and women have the right to choose. Mixed in some personal opinions. Using widows from the Qin and Han dynasties as an example. Explained that becoming a widow was because the husband's family couldn't suppress good fortune. I silently gave a thumbs up. And gave Kai Niangza a like. With all this, what else do I have to fear? Female official position tilde this servant. Your subordinate is here tilde the food bringing Kai Niangza scolded that person away. I asked curiously, did Kai Niangza study before? Kai Niangza smiled and replied, I know a few characters. Originally it was to manage the household. Who would have thought? Never mind, as long as it works. It also needs to be practical. I've decided. The first colleague I want to recommend is you. I flew back to the official residence to find Shen Chonglin. This female official, I Shi Ji am determined to be. With Shen Chonglin here, the process was completed quickly. I officially became a female guard on duty. Why not official? Not yet achieved anything. Slightly not enough. But it will be soon. Wait for winter. Barbarians are coming south. I have to get some credit no matter what. Before that, I should write a letter to my employer whom I haven't contacted for many years. Sincerely inquire about their well-being. Then express that my information has been blocked for years. And I don't know many things. I only recently heard about such a big change. Briefly describe what I've been doing all these years. Which abilities have improved. Then flatter the employer a bit. Praise them openly and secretly. Especially congratulate her on her promotion wealth and the death of her husband. Finally show what I want to do. Hope the other party is willing to promote me. And express that this donkey belongs to you for life. Give me a chance. The child really wants to succeed. Have connections above. Half the effort, twice the result. Shen Chonglin happened to see this letter. Asked a meddling question. I presented the prepared excuse. A letter to an elder. She has taken care of me a lot before. It was also thanks to her help that I escaped the disaster back then. Now that I am stable, I should write to inquire about her well-being. But I don't know if time has passed. Will she still receive this letter? Fortunately, my worries did not come true. Received a reply soon. The employer was surprised to receive my letter, but still expressed welcome. I was ecstatic. It was worth all those years. Studying at the Imperial Academy for nothing. Managing the shop at night. Occasionally chatting with her to relieve boredom and scolding her husband. Kai Niangza curiously asked, who is writing? Making you so happy? That's right. I brought Kai Niangza along. First I brought her by my side as a deputy to learn how to handle things. When she's trained, I'll promote her. In Shen Chonglin's eyes, I am probably also a half-baked rookie. Damn Shen the idiot. Can't you find more people to work? In the coming days, I will contact my old employer and maintain our relationship. Gradually get the hang of it. Official affairs. And also, when the barbarians run out of ammunition and food, a reunion with my old employer like a new marriage. It will be a passionate embrace. The letter I sent out today. I received a reply to the previous letter. The content is clearly more intimate than the polite greetings in the first letter. The old employer also talks about the newcomers and troubles she has encountered over the years. I treasure it like a gem. Write it down. These are all colleagues I will work with in the future. I believe, as long as the flattery is loud enough, I will still be the apple of the employer's eye. I allow the employer's heart to be a mace. I am getting along well with my employer in the letters. Life in the official office is also enjoyable. When General F came to find me, I felt like I was in a different era. Shijijia, is this how it's done? No one was willing to come to this official office before. Arriving basically means pushing everything aside. The old hands in the department had also been cleaned out by Shen Chonglin. The spoons are all young people newly promoted by Shen Chonglin with clean family backgrounds. Everyone is at the same starting line. Originally there was guidance from an elder brother. It can be considered a quick learner. They came to ask a few more sweet words. I am happy to teach them. So, when the general came knocking, what he saw should be 4 or 5 young men in their prime. Young men with jade-like faces surrounding me, smiling and accepting the milk tea handed over by one of them. Pointing at the booklet in another's hand and making comments. Kai Niangza was working hard on the side, occasionally casting a resentful glance at me. The general roared, You are not upholding wifely virtues. Don't want to talk to an idiot, but still have to socialize what to do. Best strategy, get rid of him, so he never has a chance to appear before you again. Naturally there will be no interaction. Middle strategy, speak kindly, maintain superficial relations, wait for the opportunity, stay away from him. Worst strategy, curse him out. It's not very effective, but it makes you feel better inside. Then comes endless trouble, until you get rid of him or stay away from him. This is summarized from personal experience. Of course, there are also exceptions. For example, while preparing to get rid of him I suddenly discovered that the other party was quite nice. There is a precedent. I am very troubled. The best strategy is temporarily infeasible. I still have to rely on him to gain some fame. The middle strategy has disgusted myself for the time being. The worst strategy is both disgusting and troublesome. I was troubled. The general has something to discuss inside. Why trouble yourself here? Exactly. Why trouble a weak and helpless little woman like me? Shen Chonglin took the general to discuss matters. After the general's visit, the few boys returned to their seats and stopped asking. So be it. Happy to have leisure. When the general left he looked at me again, like a stone waiting for her husband. Unmoving. I am speechless. If I can't afford to provoke it I can always avoid it. This kind of leisure time is one day less, one white less. Why waste it? The war has begun. This year the army is strong and well equipped. The food and grass are also sufficient. It's a bit tiring, but my heart is at ease. Decisive victory from 1,000 miles away. Literary interest, boiling snow and brewing tea. These, none missed, all taken. A happy life. Nothing more than this. Although the brewed tea is not very good either. It's freezing to death, just mentioning it in passing. I got promoted. Things are a bit complicated on the border. In short, Shen Chonglin is now ranked first among the civil officials on the border. I can make it into the top 5. I have to save face for those old guys who have been here for decades. There's basically no suspense in the border war. The other side surrendered quickly. They sent some kind of letter. Anyway, it was a surrender. Old man at the gate. The general sent something again. Leave the stuff. Tell him to get lost. Kai Niangza has also officially taken a position in the official office. The general hasn't given up yet. I rubbed my hands shivering. Who knows what he's thinking? House Wei has been with me for so many years. Don't you have any thoughts? Kai Niangza's husband died saving her. However, it has a beautiful filter for the feelings between every couple. I do have some thoughts. Kai Niangza's eyes lit up. I was expressionless. Can Wan Yan's efforts for him be written down too? Kai Niangza was also expressionless. Jing Lin asked us to write down everything we did this year at the end of the year. Regardless of the outcome, write it all down. These last 2 months, I've basically been in several cities and towns on the border. Working non-stop. There's a lot to do. My mind forgets things quickly too. Kai Niangza is worried about whether she wrote things correctly. I am worried that these things aren't enough. They're not enough at all. The boss sent a letter, telling me to write this year-end report well. This battle was a great victory. The barbarians are suing for peace. There will definitely be rewards. She told me to write it well. Put on a good show. Someone will be sent to bail me out then. You have to be strong to forge iron. Connections are more important than achievements. Here's the problem. Shen Chonglin is in control of the overall situation. Although there were some risks, I didn't encounter them. It's even faster and fighting is inherently the domain of military commanders. Here's the problem. Shen Chonglin is in control of the overall situation. Although there were some risks, I didn't encounter them, and fighting is inherently the domain of military commanders. Unless the enemy is at the city gates, it's hard for civil officials to achieve anything, and I am just a general handyman. The most I do every day is calculate. Losses, casualties, then adjust the food and grass, remaining hair. I don't even get to do tasks like reporting to the public to gain prestige. How can I get the boss to promote me? This is really a mid-career crisis. I'll just freeze to death here for the rest of my life. Night, I took the opportunity to write this matter to the boss. I hinted that, it's not that I haven't worked hard all these years. It's that I've forgotten to be shrewd. The things I've done, all merits were given to others. The lamplight flickered. There wasn't much happening on the border. Shen Chonglin was also preparing the year-end summary to be submitted. And as the highest local official he had one more task. To summarize and verify the merits of the officials in the Yamen. So that rewards could be given out. It happened faster than Bai Neng could have imagined. Shen Chonglin picked up another report. This one was written in an exaggerated narrative style. It was clear that a military officer had hired someone to write it. The ghostwriter likely used to write storybooks for a living. They described the officer's bravery in battle with all their might. The story had a clear beginning, development, and conclusion. The structure was ingenious. It was useless. As expected, Chonglin saw another name in it. Shiji, Shi Buxia's sister. The one who, like him, was stubborn and refused to be wronged in any way. In a relatively safe place he arranged. She managed things properly. All the attackers were captured. And she also delivered grain to the frontline cities more than 10 times. Chonglin once again noted down Shiji's merits from someone else's report. It seemed, Shiji's temper was much easier to get along with. If she had the same stubborn personality as Shi Busho, he would have had trouble. Shen Chonglin continued to flip to the next book. It was in the format of a ledger. Transporting grain. November 9th. Auditing the official accounts of Chan County. Up to this year, estimated corruption and bribery totaled. He also happened to audit some old unresolved accounts from various places. Shen Chonglin added another note. The more Shen Chonglin read, the more his brow furrowed. Not only because of the enormous sums and the vast network of connections, but also because of the methods inferred from it. Just like that scoundrel Shi Busho, Shi Ji wouldn't look for evidence. But she was accustomed to finding some problems through her own observations. Unraveling them thread by thread. Meticulous. Boldly inferring. Getting very close to the truth. Just without evidence. The more Shen Chonglin read, the more alarmed he became. When he reached the end, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, Shi Ji was not as reckless as Shi Busho. She only reminded him to thoroughly investigate the matter. Shen Chonglin opened the next book. This one was in the style of a travelogue. It had a certain rustic charm of the countryside. Shen Chonglin, with a pair of heavy dark circles under his eyes, commented with great interest. The court's rewards arrived at the border before the new year. Chonglin, along with the officials and generals, welcomed them at the city gate. The general casually approached. I quietly retreated. If you have something to say it. Dilly-dallying. What kind of behavior is that? The court's bestowal. Can we remarry? It would be adding joy to joy. Your looks are average. You have such beautiful dreams. I don't know where you get your confidence from. You always think I am still sulking with you. Why add bad luck to such great happy news? Stop messing around. I raised an eyebrow and said with a smile, is that all you know how to say? The commotion on our side is a bit too loud. Shen Quanlin looked over. We'll talk about it later if there's anything. The envoy's procession is already visible. General, please move aside. These are civil officials. Your position is over there. Several colleagues also stepped forward. Pushing and shoving, pulling and tugging. The envoy has arrived. A whole crowd knelt down in unison. The only downside to the rewards is this. These cold stone slabs freeze your knees uncomfortably. Delivering an imperial decree is a task that requires a very strong voice. In such a vast space, with so many people, they could still hear it clearly. From the initial pleasantries, to the rewards and appointments for Shen Quanlin, and then to the various rewards for all relevant personnel. From Shen Quanlin, who was ranked as a 4th rank official, down to the lowest ranking soldier. Everyone was announced here, but my name wasn't mentioned. Female officials are not rewarded, but that's not right either. My wife and Miss Yun, who funded the military supplies, also received rewards. By the end, I still hadn't heard my name. Lord Shen, receive the decree, the angel said with a smile to Shen Quanlin. The son of heaven's envoy, or angel for short. Shen Quanlin did not rise, nor did he accept the decree. There is still one person who has made contributions and has not been rewarded. May I ask, Angel? Lord Shen, don't worry. The angel chuckled and handed the imperial decree to Shen Quanlin. Then he took out another scroll. Where is Shi Ji? Come forward and receive the decree. My old boss. Such a grand gesture, giving me a separate imperial decree. I quickly stepped forward, unintentionally. An old acquaintance. The decree over 100 characters long. To put it concisely, this person is very good. He has made contributions. I admire him greatly. Pack your things, and come work by my side. I happily accepted the imperial decree. The angel pulled me up, and said with a smile, after leaving for many years, do you still recognize me as your adoptive father? Yes, this person was my direct superior when I worked for my old boss. I also recognized him as my adoptive father. My adoptive father has been incredibly kind to me. How could Shi Ji not recognize him? When I fled from home, it was my adoptive father who saved me. When I faked my death to escape, it was also my adoptive father who took me in. After that, at the welcoming banquet, I also benefited from my adoptive father's influence. I received compliments all night. Otherwise, why would people say power is good? The general sat in a corner, feeling increasingly uncomfortable. If he hadn't been so arrogant, would he still be her husband now? Miss Yun was restless. She finally managed to get close to a general, but ended up making an enemy of a benefactor. She's caught between a rock and a hard place. Miss Yun gritted her teeth and made up her mind. The night was long and intertwined. The lamps burned until the 3rd watch. After the banquet, Shen Chonglin, holding his slightly dizzy head, called for someone. Today Shi Ji received an imperial decree. There were 3 merits. One was for his years at the border. The second was for this battle. The third was for his meritorious service in the investigation 5 years ago. Shen Chonglin remembered. Besides the charges he had submitted 5 years ago, there were indeed other pieces of evidence. But if there were merits, why weren't they rewarded back then? Instead, they were rewarded today 5 years later. And it was for an investigation. If Miss Shi was still unmarried back then, how could she go out to investigate? If Miss Shi was already the Empress Dowager's person back then, Why wasn't she rewarded? Instead she went far away to the border. And also, did Miss Shi know that she was working for the Empress Dowager? Did he know? This matter had many suspicious points. Shen Chonglin closed his eyes. Did you know? Shen Chonglin and Shi Buxia's first meeting could be considered an enmity. The first meeting, Shi Busho broke the clivia that Shen Chonglin was raising. Shen Chonglin considered himself not an unreasonable person. It was something that could be resolved with an apology. But this fellow didn't know any better. It was clearly him and his group of friends joking around, and broke the clivia he was raising. He just glared at him. This fellow during the equestrian exam rode his horse and kicked a wooden fence onto his path, causing him to come in last. When he was punished to copy texts, he came to provoke him with a smile. Shen Chonglin was not one to swallow his grievances. He silently retaliated. In the next exam he criticized that fellow's essay as worthless, and got first place. The exam papers would be taken out by the teacher to be discussed in class. His essay in particular, Shi Busho was a naive and foolish person. It was easy to refute his essay. Shen Chonglin was a little curious to see the world that Shi Busho wrote about. However, Shi Busho was still an annoying person. Chonglin holding Shi Buxia's newly written essay to refute him. Shen Chonglin was a little curious to see the world that Shi Busho wrote about. However, Shi Busho was still an annoying person. Shen Chonglin holding Shi Buxia's essay to refute him. Read it word by word, looking for loopholes to prepare for the next essay. He made 3 mistakes. The next day, Shen Chonglin handed the manuscript to the teacher and casually mentioned it. After a class, Shi Busho retrieved his manuscript and happily received 3 extra copying assignments. Shi Busho sat back in his seat with a bewildered expression. Is the teacher that strict? The two exchanged blows. Today you write an essay. First break my topic, then create new meaning. Tomorrow I will write a long fu. Laugh at your foolishness, first defend then attack. The teacher stroked his beard, content and satisfied. Such offense and defense instead gradually enlightened each other's views. The granaries are full. The world is prosperous. All people are enlightened. The common people can recite poetry and books. Naturally it is excellent, but that is impossible, because beneath that beautiful appearance is the demand for the powerful and noble families to seek their own interests, to give the people of the world superficial fairness. At least in the current world it is absolutely impossible, let alone books. For the common people, even the grain grown in the fields is strictly controlled. It was a woman, holding a blood-written petition, with a straw mat beside her, appealing for justice before the official. At that time the old sensei of the Imperial Academy was taking students on an outing. This old teacher's class was interesting. When he was in the mood he would take his students wandering around. This time, he took them to the counties around the capital, to learn about public affairs in practice. But at this time, someone was appealing for justice, like a knife, destroying all the delusions of the young people who had not yet experienced the hardships of the world. The one appealing for justice was a commoner. The one brought out was a member of the imperial family, forcing the common people to death, seizing private land. Shen Chonglin looked at the blood-written petition. Although the writer tried to control it, some habits cannot be changed. It was written by Shi Busho. Shen Chonglin silently sought out Shi Busho. Unexpectedly, Shi Buxia's residence was extremely simple. Shi Busho did not have a good expression when he saw him. Chonglin simply placed the blood-stained white cloth on the table. You don't know what you're doing. So what? Do you know who is behind this? Disregard human life. Greedy people. Shen Chonglin saw that he was not good at discerning. His tone could not help but become aggressive. Whatever happens you bear it yourself. Don't involve the Imperial Academy. Shi Busho casually curled his lips. He picked up the cloth and threw it into the brazier. Don't worry, I have my limits. I won't implicate others. Shen Chonglin's impression of Shi Busho changed again. Not naive, after seeing countless injustices, a near-obsessive pursuit of fairness, by any means necessary. A few months later, the two shook hands and made peace. When Shen Chonglin brought up the matter again, Shi Buxia's explanation was, she had lost everything. She was going to die anyway. Might as well take a gamble, to feel a little more satisfied. Shen Chonglin did not agree. There are more thorough ways to accomplish this. Shi Busho smiled, and did not reply. The two reconciled. It seemed to be a natural progression. Just needed to cooperate once. Make things clear, say a few comforting words. Then we are considered friends. For the next half year, even if there were occasional disputes, they were mostly inseparable. As for this, how often it happened, it doesn't matter. After school, Shen Chonglin intentionally or unintentionally observed the actions of the person beside him. No surprises. They argued again in this class due to differing opinions. The voices were a little louder. The words were also a little more intense. Shen Chonglin intentionally kept pace with Shi Busho, naturally walking together, then casually asked where they were going to eat. Shi Busho paused. Shen Chonglin's heart tightened slightly. It's been a while since we've eaten at that river fish restaurant by the lake. Shen Chonglin smiled. The sun is shining and the wind is gentle. A beautiful day. Today's work is done. Boating on the lake, fish stewing in the pot, a gentle breeze blowing, the sunset reflecting on the water surrounds them. It's truly pleasant. Shi Busho lay down on the boat deck. Where do you want to go in the future, my dear young man? Shen Chonglin naturally knew he was asking about his future career. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, it should be compiling official documents in the Hanlin Academy. Shi Busho was not surprised. Although he hadn't taken the exam yet, With Shen Chonglin's knowledge, passing the exam was practically a certainty. Becoming a Shujishi wasn't too difficult either. Shen Chonglin also asked, "What about you? You should focus more on your studies. Otherwise you'll have to wait another 3 years." Shi Buxia's strength